Hello everyone, and this is Phoenix here, and today is going to be another pickup video, and it'll be the last one for this year, because obviously it's December, which is, the time of Christmas and holidays, and also it happened to be my birthday on the 6th, so that was really cool. But of course, you probably already knew that if you are following the channel, but yeah, because I finally did a video on my birthday. But anyways, one thing I would like to say first is that because I didn't do a video like just before Christmas or a Christmas related video, I thought about doing one, but I couldn't think of an idea, so instead I just want to say it here and to say I hope everyone had a great time over the holidays, spending time with family and friends, and do whatever you want kind of thing. I just hope everyone had a great time. I know I had a great time myself, so that being said, I just hope everything is all as well, and also can't wait for the new year, because next year we're going to start things off with a good note. At least, I'm going to try to do it anyway. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell if, things are different here because the quality of the video is different. Well, that's because I actually got a new camera, and it's just so you know, my old camera actually, died, which kind of sucks, but I did have that camera for quite a while, and it has definitely served me well. I mean, as you can tell from all the other videos I have been doing, I mean, the quality of it looks pretty good. I mean, at least it's not unwatchable. And also it has taken pretty good, decent pictures, although sometimes it was kind of annoying, but for the most part it was a pretty decent camera, especially for the fact that it was actually a relatively cheap camera. It was only I think 120 or something. For a camera, that's very cheap. But, so yeah, so now I have a new camera, which is always nice, and it's nothing that's super high-end, but it's not super ridiculously cheap either. But still, always a good thing to have. And, now as for the shoutouts, I only got one channel new here, and it's actually someone I've been watching for about maybe a year or two. I can't remember exactly there, but, his name happens to be Crackalotus, and, basically what he does is a lot of gaming-related videos, obviously, but, he does, a lot of, vlogs that are either gaming-related or stuff about, real life. Definitely some pretty interesting stuff, and yeah, I've always enjoyed his channel. I also find him to be very, entertaining because he's, really funny and makes, really funny comments, so of course, I just really enjoy his stuff, so if that's sort of your thing, then I recommend you go check him out. So, therefore, there's your shoutout for, December. If there's any more, well, I haven't really found anything else I can add, so we'll have to see as we go. So as for next year, things are definitely gonna be expanded upon more. Alright, so before we just begin the pickup video for now, one thing you probably may have noticed is that I'm wearing a very ridiculous shirt, where it's a cat riding on a unicorn with a sword and a book and with rainbows and space. Yeah, it's definitely ridiculous, but hey, that suits me because I'm fucking ridiculous too. But yeah, I got this t-shirt for Christmas. It's a new one, which is, very funny. I like it for that because it's just so fucking random. So, okay, so let's start, finally. And this game is a Vita game. I've been doing the stack with the smaller cases first to the bigger cases at the bottom. And this Vita game here is Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. And I actually did beat this game very recently. I actually think I beat it on Christmas Eve, or I think it was the day before Christmas Eve, I forget, but yeah, I actually did beat this one. And all I have to say is that this game it's really good. I mean, it's just like the first one. It has the same basic stuff, but although they do add a couple of things here, and they do change some perspectives, where there's some parts in this game where in first person, there's some parts where it's side-scrolling. It's very different, but the story in this one is good. I mean, it's basically, instead of being trapped in a school, they're trapped on an island, which is, very amusing and such, and, I like all the characters too. The only thing about this one I didn't like as much as the first one was the ending. Now, I'm not going to explain it there because not only would it be major spoiler, but also because it's really hard to explain it, in a way that it would actually make sense. So, I will say the ending is, the ending is not bad, it's just not nearly as clever as the ending in the first game. Because the ending in the first game was oh man, what the fuck? But this one, it's kind of well, I don't know, it wasn't a bad ending, but definitely a weird ending, but I guess that kind of suits, because, this game is just weird as hell, so, if you like visual novels or point-and-click games, or games like Phoenix Wright, then yeah, this is definitely it, because I really enjoy this series, and now they're finally making a third one, and that one's actually going to be on console for the PS4, so that should be interesting. Alright, so let's continue along, and this game right here is a PS1 game I actually just got 2 days ago, I think. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm trying, yeah, yesterday actually, and it is Dracula: The Last Sanctuary. Now, this is a game that I've actually never heard of before until very recently. Which, by the way, this game actually has 2 discs, but it's not in a multiple disc case, as you can tell. But the way how you actually have to take out the disc is has this thing. But let me tell you, man, this thing is a pain in the ass to switch over. So I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So I heard about this game fairly recently from a YouTuber named Games of War. I've mentioned his channel before. He's a great dude. But, yeah, he did a pickup video, and he picked this game up in one of those videos, like the more recent one that he did. And the way how he described it, it sounded kind of interesting. It's basically like a point and click, another one, and it's, you know, with Dracula, and it seems like there's like a lot of like mysteries and such, and it just looked like a, well, at least not really looked like, but like it sounded like a really cool game, and I just happened to find it like very recently for like $10, so I thought, you know what? Why not? I mean, this game sounds really cool, so I'm gonna play it eventually. I haven't played it yet, because I just haven't gotten around to it, but, I will definitely try and play this one for Halloween, that's for damn sure. But, yeah, there's not a lot I can say about it, unfortunately. But one thing I would like to say is that there's actually 2 of these on the PS1. This is the second one, as you can tell, because it's called The Last Sanctuary. But the first one, I forget the name of it there, but, you can also get these on computer too, but, you know, I just found it on PS1, so there you go. But yeah, definitely a pretty interesting sounding game, though. I mean, it's Dracula, but in a point-and-click game, which is always interesting. Now, these 2 games are on the Dreamcast, and I also got these on the same time when I got the Dracula game. And this one is Evolution: The World of Sacred Device. Now, this is a roguelike that is developed by Sting, I believe, and I haven't played this one yet, either, because I just recently got it, but from what I have seen of it, it definitely does look pretty cool. I mean, I do like some roguelikes here and there, and yeah, you know, it's by Sting, so therefore, it's made by the same people who did Baroque, and as you know, I thought Baroque was awful. Well, it wasn't awful, but it just wasn't very good. But this one, hopefully it might actually be better than it, though. I'm sure it would be. But I definitely do like the art style, though. It's pretty cool looking. But, yeah, very interesting looking game. Can't wait to play this one. And, yeah, unfortunately I can't say a whole lot about it because I haven't tried it out yet. But definitely a pretty cool game, and this one was only $15. So, yeah, that was definitely a surprise. Okay, this one I can actually say more about because this one I actually did, like, play the hell out of last night. And that happened to be Dynamite Cop, which, you know, is on the Dreamcast, and as you know, this game, this is the second one, but the first one was actually called Die Hard Arcade, which is very random, and I've talked about that in my Strange Origins video. And, this one, okay, for some reason I always have a hard time opening up the case for this one. I swear, I think the people that opened this, or that owned this game before, like, super glued it or some shit. But yeah, it's all there, obviously. But, anyways, yeah, this is like a beat 'em up in that's in like 3D, so kind of like, I would say, well, it's not really like Dynasty Warriors because there's not like a shit ton of enemies on the screen, but if I had to compare it to anything, it's, I can't think of another game actually off the top of my head. I know there's like a lot, but I just can't think for some reason, but that's what happens when I record at night, is that I can't think of shit. But, yeah, so it's a 3D beat 'em up, and you can, like, they use like objects in the background, which is always like fun and hilarious, and there's a lot of over-the-top weapons you can use, and like there's like one part where you're on a pirate ship and you can just take the cannons off and start shooting enemies with it. It's fucking great. Yeah, this game is very over-the-top. Like there's like a chef guy who like throws carrots at you that they exploding carrots. It's just fucking hilarious. And then there's also a part with a squid, and it's very funny. It's a very funny game, and it's also a very good game. It's very enjoyable. I was like playing the hell out of it last night, and I believe this game is 2 players, which seems like it would be really fun. So, yeah, definitely a really good game. Definitely a very good beat 'em up. Probably one of the best beat 'em ups that I've played on the Dreamcast, which I haven't really played much, but at least this one is awesome. So, definitely recommend this one. And this one was also $15, believe it or not. Alright, so now for the next stuff, we're going to get into the PS4 games. And this is one I got on Boxing Week. And that is Bloodborne. Finally, I got it. And from what I can tell you about it, well, I haven't actually played it yet because I just got it like 2 days ago. Or yeah, okay, I'm getting mixed up here, but yeah, basically I got it like very, very recent. I just haven't got around to it though. But I know someone on YouTube, actually, I forget who your name is there, but if you're watching this, just please remind me anyway. But someone on YouTube, when I was doing one of the streams, they asked me saying, if you ever get Bloodborne, you should do a live stream of it for your first time reaction to it, and I figured, you know what, that'd actually be a great idea. It'd be really funny, because, as you know, these games are pretty tough, and I'm not very good at them, to be honest. I mean, I can't get far through Demon Souls, and that game is just brutal, but it's not, like, the most hardest game ever, but it definitely is, like, a tough game to start out with, and it is very good, though. Don't get me wrong, that game's great. It's just, you know, it's very tough. And this one, I think, is, well, some people I know said it's, like, easier, or at least it's a bit easier, and, you know, that's fine. I mean, hey, I'm always, like, fine with that, but anyways, it's pretty much like, you know, all the rest of the Souls games, pretty much, so, I mean, it is from Software, after all. From Software? But, yeah, as you know, I'm a big fan of From Software, so of course that's always, like, a good thing for me. So, yeah, I definitely can't wait to try this one out, and if I'm going to do a stream on it, I'll do it sometime in January. I'm not sure yet when, but sometime in there, because I know I haven't really been working on my next review, and I do plan on doing more. And, of course, I am also doing the anime feature. Like, I'm like still, like, watching, like, random animes and such with it, and also, I have a good idea of what I want to do for a top 10 list that I'm going to do, so we'll have to wait and see on that. So yes, definitely a lot more content coming in this game. Yeah, I can't wait to play it. The other one that I got on Boxing Week, and this game was actually like really cheap. It was like $20, and it was Final Fantasy Type 0, and, well, HD, because as you know, this game was originally a PSP game that never got released over here, but then they finally did it on the PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about it, and also I haven't really played it yet because I got it like very recently, but from what I do know is that it's very mission-based, and not only that, but I know a couple of the characters only because one of my friends from very far away actually did a cosplay group of the characters in Final Fantasy Type 0. I think, if I remember right, I think she was cosplaying as Queen, if I remember her name. Basically the chick with black hair and glasses, but anyways though, you know, the game looked pretty cool. I mean, I remember when this game was announced on the PSP, I thought that game actually looked pretty sick, considering it actually looked more darker than like most of the other Final Fantasy games, which is kind of interesting. I mean, not to say that all the other ones were not dark. I mean, they definitely did have their dark moments, but this one just seemed like overall it was mostly dark, which is pretty interesting. So, yeah, definitely can't wait to play this one. I know some people complained about it because, you know, it has, like, really bad voice acting, and also the graphics are not perfect, but, okay, graphics, okay, I don't really give a shit if not perfect, that's fine, whatever. The voice acting, well, I haven't heard it, so I can't say if it's good or bad, but when I looked at the cast list, I was like, wow, how could this be bad? I mean, you got so many good voice actors in there, and a lot of them I really like, so I don't know, it's either they just completely fucked it up, or maybe a lot of them don't belong with their, like, characters that you think they would, or maybe the voice director was just slacking his ass off, or whatever. Either way, though, I'll be able to tell you once I actually get around to playing it. So, yeah, for this game for $20, though, you definitely can't go wrong. Oh, and also, just so you know, it does come with the demo for $15, which is pretty cool. Figured I might as well mention that. Now, as for the last PS4 game, this one I got on Christmas, and it is Tales of Zestiria, which is, you know, part of the Tales of series, which is a big favorite of mine. And this one, from what I have played of it, because I've been playing this one quite a bit, this game is pretty damn great. Now, I don't know if I would consider it to be, like, the best Tales of game that I ever played. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, considering that I'm only, like, about 7 hours in, I think. But, definitely a pretty good entry, though. I mean, I do like it. The battle system isn't, like, as good as some of the other ones, though, but I do like the idea of it, that, like, pretty much, like, wherever you bump into the enemy, you have to fight, like, right there, rather than just taking you to a whole new screen. I think that's pretty cool. The characters in this one, or at least from the ones that I have met in the game, well, they're pretty funny and amusing and such, which is always good. But I have to say, the guy in the top hat looks fucking badass as hell. I forget his name, but I think his name starts with a D. I just can't remember because I only saw him like once in the game. I think he's not even in like the party yet. But the other thing I like about this one is that the characters, like some of them, like they're a part of a race where they can't actually be seen by humans, or at least they can't be seen by most humans or something. So they mostly like hide with the main guy whose name is what was it there? Starts with an S. Fuck, how can I already forget? Oh shit, son. Yeah. So, anyways, it's pretty funny though because he's like, when he's like talking to the girl, he's like, "Oh yeah, I have like voices in my head," kind of thing. Like he can pretty much like troll the fuck out of like everyone. It's funny. Of course he doesn't do that because he's a good guy. But you know, if it was me, I would totally do that with people because I'm an asshole. But yeah, definitely a really good series. Also, one other thing I'd like to point out is that the opening theme song in this game, fucking amazing. Probably my favorite opening for a Tales of game that I've played so far. And yes, I even liked it better than the opening for Exilia 1, which was a big favorite of mine for a long while. So, yeah, definitely saying something, alright. At least I really liked it. I thought it was really fucking catchy and just really amazing sounding. So, anyways, really good game, and I'm very happy to actually have it and being playing through it. Alright, so now as for the next stuff, we're going to be talking about some PS2 games. This was one I got recently, and I played it for a little bit, and that happens to be Eruka 7 Volume 1 The New Wave, which, as you know, Eruka 7 is based after an anime that I actually have seen the original one before. This one is actually not based after the original, because the original one that I was familiar with had the main character's name was Rintin, I think, and it had like that blue chick. I can't remember her name at the moment. No, wait, isn't her name Eureka or something? I forget. It's been a while since I've watched it, and the main guy in this one, his name is Sumner or something like that, so I'm not really familiar with this one, at least when it comes to... I think this was the anime that happened after, but I'm not sure, because I only watched the original, but anyways, with all that aside, from what I have played of this game, it's actually pretty cool. Basically, you can, you're in, like, mechs and stuff that look like they look like they're, like, skating on the ground, and you have to, like, beat each other up. It's not necessarily, like, a fighting game, but it kinda is. It's actually kinda cool, although the controls do take a little bit of time to get used to, but other than that, though, it's actually pretty good. The other thing you can do in this one is that you can actually, actually race with a hoverboard, which is really cool. And also you can do tricks and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. I do like that. It has a lot of variety in the game. Also, I think there's a part where you can actually, like, walk around and use a gun or something. But I haven't really got to that point. Like, I actually did, like, the training part for it, but I never actually did a mission like that. But, yeah, this game definitely has a lot of random variety to it. And obviously, if it has Volume 1, that means there's a Volume 2. So, with that being said, I'll have to go get the second one eventually, but haven't seen it yet. Then again, this is a game I also don't see very often, but I mainly got it because, it's at Eruka 7, and that was something I remember liking when I first watched it, so yeah, that's why I pretty much got it there. And the game is actually pretty decent, although I'll have to play through it more, but yeah, I also got it for about $20 or something like that. So, yeah, definitely a pretty interesting one, especially if you like the anime, although, of course, this isn't the one that you may be thinking of. But, of course, maybe you might have known that if you were actually familiar with that series, but I'm not. But, so far, the story of it seems pretty good, though. Alright. This is a PS2 game that I've been wanting for years. And, man, let me tell you, I was so excited when I finally got it. And it is Dot Hack GU Volume 3. Yeah, oh man. When I opened up this as a gift, because this was actually a gift from my grandma, she ended up getting it for me at one of the stores around here, because she knew it was something I wanted, and yeah, this game, well, I haven't actually played it yet, because, I have Volume 1, 2, and 3, I have this complete set now, at least for GU. I don't have the one for the original one. But, from what I have played of Volume 1 and 2, though, they're very good games. I really like them. Very good story. I also really like the anime for it. Very good music, and some pretty cool set pieces that I really like. So this is, like, the final part to it, and, well, eventually I do want to start, I want to start over from Volume 1, and then play through, Volume 2, and then play through Volume 3, but now that I have the full set, I'm very happy for that. And yeah, so I really can't wait to finally like replay them all because I can't remember everything that happened in the series, but from what I do remember a lot of cool shit that happened. But yeah, unfortunately these games are very hard to come by, or if not hard to come by, they're always very expensive, which is a shame because these games are actually pretty damn great. Now they aren't like the best RPGs ever, but they do have. But I really do like the battle system though. The battle system is really fun. Like it's an action one. It's actually kind of like the Tales of series in a way, just a little bit. So that's really cool to know. So in case you didn't know that, well now you do. So if you like the Tales of games, you might actually like this series of games. You might. At least I don't know. I really liked it. Although it doesn't feel as fluent as like some of the Tales of games, but it's still like very good though, and it definitely does not have bad control. It's just it's a little bit stiffer than what you might be used to, but it still like doesn't get in the way of the gameplay whatsoever. So yeah, finally can't wait to play through this series again. Well, at least fully play through them because I never beat any of the volumes. I just only did like I got very far through Volume 2. Within Volume 1, I got like decently far through it. But then like my PS2 fucking broke. Then that was like years ago. Then I kind of forgot everything. Yeah, fucking slim PS2s, man. Those things are fucking bullshit. But yeah, very happy that I finally got the full set. Now let's continue on to the next stuff. These are some Wii U games. And this is one I got on Christmas as well, and that happened to be Splatoon. Finally, I've been wanting this game for a while. The mainly reason I haven't got it yet was because the game was still at like $69.99, which is, just really expensive for... Well, of course it's expensive, but I mean, like, I was kind of hoping they would at least lower it down a little bit by Christmas, but they didn't. But that's okay, though. I mean, from what I have played of this game, I've only played it for about, like, an hour or two, so I can't say a whole lot, but from what I have played of it, it's actually very fun. It's, I haven't really played a lot of multiplayer games in a while, but this one is definitely very good. I really like the creativity of it. I like the objective, though. Although one thing I don't like, though, is the time limit is not very long at all. Like, the games are, like, really, really short. I kind of wish they were a bit longer, so, you can just, like, mess around and start, like, just fully on, like, killing each other, rather than just, like, trying to, like cover up the entire map with your, like, I don't know, Splatoon stuff. I don't know, like, I could call it a lot of things. I could call it, like, slime, I could call it, like boogers, I can call it, like, jizz if I wanted to, I don't fucking know, or I can even call it a Pepto-Bismol, because one of the things is pink, and it looks exactly like a Pepto-Bismol, which is hilarious. But anyways, I don't want to get into, like, the whole gross shit, but, yeah, this game's very good. I really like it. If you like multiplayer games, obviously this would be something you'd like. I'm actually okay with multiplayer games. It's just not something I'd play all the time, but definitely very fun every once in a while. And of course, this would be a game I would like to play with friends. So if you got a Wii U, and I believe I put my Wii U name on my YouTube profile. If not, well, I believe it's the exact same name as my YouTube profile anyway, so there you go. If you want to play with me on Splatoon and just, like, fuck some shit up with some, like, splat stuff, then there you go. We can definitely have fun with that. And this one happened to be one I was very excited for when it came out. That happened to be Xenoblade Chronicles X. And let me tell you, man, I've been waiting this game ever since it got announced in, I believe it was 2012. I think it was around when it was either when the Wii U first came out or it was, like, a little bit after. Might have been in 2013, but either way, though, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh man, I just have to get that, because, I mean, from what I've played of Xenoblade, like the regular Xenoblade, that game's amazing. Hard as hell, or at least I'm not very good at it, but very, very fun, and very, very good. Very beautiful looking, too. And this game is like that, pretty much exactly like that, very huge, and very beautiful looking, and this game also does have a really good music, but one song that does kind of annoy me is the night theme of New Los Angeles, where it has, like, the rapping. Now, I'm not a fan of rap in general, but the rapping in here sounds really funny, but it doesn't suit the game whatsoever. Like, every time I hear it, I keep on thinking it's gonna say, like, motherfucker, randomly, but of course it doesn't, but of course I'm probably just, being very stupid and ridiculous about it, so don't take that shit seriously. But, yeah, the game is really good. I really like the fact that you can create your own character. Like, Like, I thought that was really cool, and the fact that you can pick his own voice and they actually tell you the voice actors like right beside his they're like the kind of voice it is really cool. I actually went with Dan Warren because he's one of my favorite voice actors, and not only that, but the voice that he did in this game actually sounds fucking cool. So that's always awesome. And the story in this one is pretty good too. Though I haven't got too far into it though, but from what I have played of it, it does seem fairly interesting. So, yeah, definitely a very high anticipated game for me, and it is a very good one. I just haven't got around to going back and playing to it because this game is fucking massive. I heard some people say this game is even bigger than Fallout 4, but I don't really know about that, and honestly, I really couldn't care less if it is bigger or smaller, but from what I have seen of my roommate play Fallout 4, that game definitely does look very fun. But yeah, anyways, very good game. If you're at a Wii U, this is definitely a must-own if you like RPGs or just huge-ass games in general. Open-world games, I should say. Yeah, speaking of my roommate, I actually got him a copy of Dying Light, which is really cool, so I decided to get that for him, and he actually really likes it, so I'm very happy about that. Yay! So, anyways, let's move on, because I just had to mention that just in case, because it was gaming related, and not only that, but that game is actually really cool from what I've seen of it. So the next game is Yoshi's Woolly World, which I actually did get the big box and that came with the Yoshi amiibo, but I'm just showing the case here. But anyways, though, Yoshi's Woolly World, I got it on my birthday, and it was the only game I got on my birthday, by the way, but hey, that's totally fine, because the other stuff I got on my birthday was totally awesome, like a new computer, or at least parts of a new computer anyway. The rest of it, I had to get it myself, but that's totally fine, though, because me and my roommate built it together. But anyways, that's for Yoshi's Woolly World. Very relaxing platformer, very fun. It is pretty tough at times, but it's not, like, ridiculously tough that it makes you just want to, like, you know, pick the game up and just fucking toss it around the room. It's not that kind of tough, though, I don't know, maybe if you're very impatient you might want to do that, but I wouldn't do it to this because this game is actually very good. Also, very nice art style, very good music. The music is actually pretty damn good. Then again, I find a lot of the music in Yoshi games has always been very cool. Like, I know one of my favorite songs in Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo happened to be the last boss theme because it's all, like, fucking, like, metal and shit, which is just awesome. And the other thing I like about this one is that you can actually put your amiibos into it, and you get like different skins of them, and it's very cool just to see what they look like. Although for some reason when I put in Mewtwo, all it gave you was Yoshi wearing an amiibo shirt. I don't know why. I guess Mewtwo is not compatible with the game, but it seems kind of weird. I don't know, a Mewtwo Yoshi would be pretty fucking cool looking. Well, a Mewtwo Yarn Yoshi anyway. But, yeah, definitely a very good platformer game. Probably one of the best platformer games that I've played this year, if I say so myself. Not including Mario Maker, because, I mean, yeah, that is a platformer, but it's more of a create-your-own sort of thing. But, either way, great fucking game. Alright, so, these next games are, I got these games, like, really, really cheap, but they're for a system I don't even own yet, and that happens to be the Xbox 360. Now, I was planning on getting a 360 for Christmas, or at least like getting it on Boxing Week, but unfortunately because when my camera died, I decided to go buy a new camera instead of buying the 360 because I think getting a newer camera is more important than that, but that's okay. I got these games just in case whenever I do get one because they were like super cheap, so I was like, yeah, let's totally go for it. So I can't say a whole lot about all of them, but from what I can tell you though, there's definitely one I can say about, and well, this first one here is Katana. I hope I said that right. Yeah, so basically this is a game from Rising Star Games, which is very cool, because I do think they are a really good company, a very small company, but they have definitely done some pretty interesting stuff. And, yeah, so, there's no manual unfortunately, but, you know, big whoop. So this is a shoot 'em up, from what it looks like. That's pretty much the reason why I got it, was because not only did it have a cool cover, and it was from Rising Star Games, but it was a shoot-'em-up, and I know that on the 360, there's a lot of good shoot-'em-ups on there, and a lot of them you can actually get physically, which is an added bonus, so that's very cool. So, with that being said, I can't wait to try this one out whenever I get my 360, or at least whenever I use my roommate's 360. I don't really touch his stuff very often, which is why I haven't played any of these ones yet, but, yeah, it definitely looks like a very cool game. Definitely can't wait to try it out. There's also another shoot 'em up on the 360 I want to get. I didn't get it though because I couldn't find it, and it happens to be called Deathly Smiles, I think. I think that's what it is. It's either Death Smiles or Deathly Smiles, whatever. But that game also looks really cool. And this one it looks kind of like it from what I remember, so, you know, that should at least be pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, definitely can't wait to play this one. Alright, next 360 game that I can't even play yet is a game I could have gotten digitally on the PS3, but because they have it physical on the 360, I figured I'm also getting it on there. And it was like $10 brand new. And that happened to be Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage 2. Yeah. So, as you know, I did a review feature on Fist of the North Star games. I didn't do all of them, but I did like 3 of them. I did the one on NES that got released over here. Then there's one on the Genesis, which is called The Last Battle, which, by the way, fucking sucks. And then you got the Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage 1, which I got on PS3. And this is the sequel to it, obviously, and on PS3 in North America you can only get it digitally, where in the PAL region you can get it physically, and on Wii U it's digital on all regions, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. So on 360 it actually did get physically released here, and as you know it's brand new and it's still in the seal and stuff, but don't worry, it'll be taken out eventually. But, yeah, definitely can't wait to play this one, because this was a game I wanted to play since it came out, because, you know, I'm a huge fan of the series, and also I really like Ken's Rage 1. I thought that was a very enjoyable game, so, you know, this one actually does have, like, it seems like they did improve a lot of the things from what I've seen. Like, there's a lot more characters, they actually mention a lot of, like, the smaller characters, like the general guy. They also mentioned Jackal, they mention, I believe they mentioned Joker as well, which is funny. And all those kind of characters, which I always think is interesting. And I believe the game's only in Japanese, like the voice acting, which, you know, that's totally fine. I mean, I understand them not being able to do it in English dub, because at the time when it was released, all the Koei games were being released only in Japanese language. But that's totally fine, though. I can understand that, though. But it would have been cool just to hear the Keiji Tang as Kenshiro, just so, you know, he can say, like, you were already dead, kind of thing. I kind of wish to hear that again, but that's okay, though. But yeah, definitely can't wait to try this one out, because I've been waiting for this one for such a long time. But yeah, definitely I enjoyed the anime, and hopefully this one is a bigger improvement of Part 1. This game here is a game that a lot of people have told me about, but I never really, like, heard a whole lot about it, mainly because it was exclusive, but now I finally have it, and hopefully play it soon, and that happens to be Lost Odyssey, which is an RPG. From what I have heard, is that this game is very underrated, and that a lot of people say it's like one of the best RPGs on, not only one of the best RPGs on the 360, but a lot of people also say it's the best RPG, like, around that era, so I was thinking, like, man, that must be pretty damn good. But, this one definitely does seem very interesting. I really like the music in it, by the way. I actually looked at the music myself. It's actually very awesome, so, yeah, it definitely has a very good OST. And one thing that is interesting that I have heard was that the company that made this game, I think it's Mistwalker, that's what it says on the back. Well, they were a company, and obviously they were a company, but what they decided to do to make this game is that they actually hired some of the people that made Shadow Hearts, which is the company who made that series was Skadoff, I think it is. I think that's how it's pronounced. Either way, it's a very weird word, and it means like some type of goddess or something. But, yeah, basically they hired the people that made the Shadow Hearts series, and as you know, I fucking love that series to death. I think it's, like, one of the best RPGs on the PS2, one of them. And so when I heard that, I was like, well, damn, well, this game better be good, right? Well, hopefully it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, and I can't wait to try it out. So, yeah, A Lost Odyssey definitely seems like a very highly anticipated game for me, at least for what I've been heard from people, and hopefully they're right. I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, okay, this game, I can say something about it because I have played it before, but I played it on a different system, though. And this game is Nier on 360. Now, I have played Nier fairly recently on the PS3. Before I moved, a friend of mine had it, and basically she let me borrow it for a little bit, and that's how I played it. And let me tell you, man, this game is fucking awesome. Although, the reason why I got it on 360 instead of PS3 was because I could not find the PS3 version for the life of me. So when I saw this, they actually had 2 copies of it, and I was like, well, damn, I guess maybe I should get it on 360 just in case. So that's why I got it on here. And, of course, I'll be able to play it whenever I can. But from what I have played this game, it's fucking amazing. It's pretty much like a Zelda game, kinda. At least I kinda consider it to be a sort of like a Zelda game, mainly because, you know, like, there's, like, the overworld parts, and then you can go into dungeons, and there's, like, a boss at the end. You also get, like, new items inside the dungeon sometimes. So, yeah, that's pretty much why it reminds me of Zelda. But, of course, the music in this game is, like, oh, man, the music is just fucking, like, god tier, pretty much. Like, it's just fucking fantastic. Fucking love it. And, of course, the story in this game is very cool. I mean, you're basically a guy who has to, like, save his daughter who is dying from a disease, and then, of course, you find, like, a book. His name is, Grimoire Wise, if I remember right. He's actually voiced by Liam O'Brien, which is pretty great. So he's very funny, and, of course, you also get, her, I think her name was, Kane. She basically looks exactly like Zero from, Drakengard 3. Actually, I think that's where they based her character off of, which is kind of interesting. But, yeah, she's very funny as well. I like the part where she's, like, raging at, Grimoire Wise about, like, I can't remember exactly, but it's at the beginning of the game where you just see the Square Enix logo, and she's, like, just, like fucking swearing and shit. It's hilarious. But, yeah, definitely a very good game. I would definitely recommend you get it while you can, because I have not been able to see it, like, anywhere at all, which really sucks, so... Alright, so, now as for the last 360 game, and this is one that I'm sort of familiar with. I mean, I know the series, I just never played this exact one. That happened to be Raiden 4, which, as you know, Raiden is a series on the arcade, or it's mostly known on arcade. I believe you can get the third one on PS2, which is really cool. That was the one I played before, and that game was sweet. So, yeah, so when they have a Raiden 4 on the 360, and it was, like, dirt cheap as well, I figured, why the hell not? I mean, this game definitely looks awesome. So, yeah, it's another one of those shoot-'em-ups that you can get physically on the 360, which is always a good thing for me, because I love shoot-'em-ups, and I also, just love having it as a tangible case, so that's always nice. But, yeah, so I haven't played this exact one, obviously, but it's a very cool-looking shoot-'em-up, though. I mean, yeah, definitely can't go wrong here, so, yeah, unfortunately I can't say a whole lot, but, no, there's only 2 stuff left, and those 2 stuff happen to be Collector's Edition stuff, and, this one over here is a 3DS game, and I've actually talked about it in my birthday video, and that happens to be Stellar Glow, which is on, well, obviously 3DS, and this is the Collector's Edition. I'll do a whole unboxing of it eventually, probably in February, because I know in January I want to focus on more on other stuff, so I'll do another unboxing video where I'm unboxing the Collector's Edition stuff in February, so that's when you'll see all the goodies that come in here. But yeah, definitely some really cool stuff, and the box is very nice, by the way. But as for the game itself, I was playing this one a lot when I first got it. I got it, like, I think the 4th or the 3rd of December? I forget exactly. It was the same day that I got Xenoblade, though. Whenever that came out, I got it then. So, yeah, so this game is a tactical RPG, much like Fire Emblem, or actually it's more like Final Fantasy Tactics than anything. But, you know, same basic stuff. And this game is pretty much like a mixture between, yeah, it's a mixture between Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's also a mixture of Persona, because you get to talk to people, and you have, like, not really social links, but it's kind of like it sort of thing. They call it something else, but it's the basic same stuff. And the other thing that it reminds me of is Art and Ellico, which is fucking cool, because, well, as you know, I love all that shit. But the reason why it reminds me of Art and Ellico in a way is because, well, you actually get to do stuff with, like, the girls where you can, like, dive into them sort of thing. You go into their mind and you have to, like, do, like, a little, like, round in there where you have to, like... It's kind of like a mission sort of thing where you actually get to, like, battle, like, shadows and stuff. It's pretty interesting stuff. And, of course, like, whenever they sing, they, like, their songs are actually, like, magic attacks, so it's pretty much exactly like song magic, so... That's the other reason why that this game reminds me of Art and Ellico, which is just awesome. So yeah, definitely a very good game. It's probably one of my favorite games that came out this year. If I had to say one of my favorite games of the year for me personally, this would definitely be up there, along with like Xenoblade X would also be up there too, and probably Tales of Zestiria and all that stuff. So yeah, I haven't played like the other two PS3 games yet. That also came out, so I'll be able to determine that whenever I can. But either way, though, this is definitely one of my favorite games that came out this year. If you own a 3DS and you haven't played an RPG on it in a while, or maybe you just haven't played it a lot in general, well, this is definitely something I definitely pick back up again, because other than Shin Megami Tensei 4, I haven't really got a lot of 3DS games, which is kind of sad, honestly, because I actually really liked my 3DS when I first got it. Like, I was digging like all the types of games that I have for it, so definitely very nice to get this one in. And also, it was developed by not Epoch. It's not Epoch, but it's a name that sounds very similar to Epoch, and they made a lot of random stuff that's very cool. And unfortunately, this is their last game because they just went defunct, which really sucks. So hopefully, eventually, I get to get around to playing their other games. I believe the other series that they made was called Luminous Arc, so this game is actually very similar to that. But I never played them, but I heard of them, and from what I have heard, they definitely do look fucking cool. So yeah, definitely would recommend this if you like games like Final Fantasy Tactics or, anything like that. Alright, last game and my throat's fucking killing me. And this game is one I got recently. Haven't played it a lot, but I played it a little bit. And it is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel on the Vita. I don't know why I sounded like that, but I guess I just like sounding ridiculous. But anyways, as you know, this is a part of the Legend of Heroes series, and the Legend of Heroes series is a spin-off of Dragon's Lair, and Dragon's Lair is fucking huge of a series, and I had to cover that in a video of, like, Strange Origins, because, man, that series is just all fucking all over the place. But anyways, I won't talk about too much about that. I'll talk about it whenever I do the next one of that, so you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that go into there, but anyways. So this is a very shiny looking case. I don't know if you'll be able to see it properly because it's very, very shiny, because I know when I took a picture of it on my older camera, the one that before it died, it was really hard to get a picture of it. But anyways, so this is a game and a part of that, and it's, yeah, I've played it for about like an hour or two. I think I've only played it for 1 hour actually. Pretty much, you go to a school, which is why everyone's in, like, a uniform. Well, I should probably show the back. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much everyone's in, like, a red uniform, and you're in, like, a school, and there's, like, and they all have, like, different weapons. Like, I know there's one guy who has, like, glasses, and he has a fucking shotgun, which is just hilarious. So I thought that was really funny. But, yeah, it has a very cool style to it. Like, it's not really steampunk, it's more like 1930s, but it has that sort of steampunkish feel to it. I don't really know if I'm explaining it right, but it's also, if I can explain the battle system, it's turn-based, but at the same time you can kind of like walk around in a circle. Well, you don't walk around freely, but you have to take your turn to walk around, so it's sort of like the Neptunia games. Well, the good Neptunia games anyway, not the first one, because that one just isn't very good in general, But yeah, so it's sort of like that, but just, you don't move around freely, and you definitely do get some pretty cool stuff. Like, you get, like, cool spells, you get, like, different stuff called Crass, which is sort of like magic, but not really. And, yeah, I don't know, I haven't played a lot, but from what I have played of it, I'm really digging it, though. It's definitely very good. It's just, between this and Zestiria is what I'm mostly playing for RPGs, so. And eventually we'll have to get back to Xenoblade and Stellar Glow. I need to beat that game, though, because I'm, like, very far into it. But, yeah, this is definitely a very cool thing, and I can't wait to unbox this eventually, so yeah, definitely a very interesting one. I actually didn't even hear about this game coming out until, like, October, which was, I was like, wow, they're actually releasing this game on PS3 and Vita. Yes, I should have mentioned this game, you can actually get it on PS3 as well, so in case you don't have a Vita, and if you have a PS3, then there you go. And I just got it on the Vita, mainly because I just wanted more games for it. Because, I mean, I have a ton of PS3 games, so I wanted to show my Vita more love, because, that system's very good, even though a lot of people say, like, it doesn't have any games. When yet, it does have games, it's just, I don't know, maybe the games that it has are maybe not your thing, and that's totally fine, but Anyways, I always like the Vita. I think the Vita is a great system. It's just, you gotta look deeper into it to actually know what you're looking for. That's what I should say. But I guess that could be said about any system, really. I mean, every single game system has its, like, hidden gems or its very niche stuff, but you just gotta dig deep into the library to find them. So, that's all the stuff I got for December. Some of it I got for Christmas. I got one game for my birthday, and then the rest of them I just all got myself. And, yeah, so if there's any more updates, I should say, very soon, after the new year, maybe on the 2nd or the 3rd, I'm not sure yet, I'm going to be, uploading a room tour video of here, which I can't wait to do. Just, of course, I gotta clean up and stuff, because, I want to make it, like, look nice, and so that's going to be really fun to do, and not only that, I have a feeling it's going to be, like, ridiculously long. Well, I'm already working on one, game review, but it's a longer one, and if you must know what it's going to be, it's actually going to be based off an anime series, but, yeah, if you guys want to know the exact anime I'm going to be talking about, here you go, here's your chance to know. Okay, so the anime it's based on is Lupin the Third, so yes, I'm going to be doing video games based after Lupin the Third, and I'm doing 3 of them. One on Famicom, one on Super Famicom, and one on PS2, which actually got a North American release. And I actually picked up that game a few months ago, so got to replay that one more a bit so, I can actually get more familiar with it. Because that's the thing that's taken me a while to get the review done, is that I really have to play that one more, where the other two, I've already played through them like a bunch of times, so... Anyways, though, so that's what my next review is going to be, and of course I'm still going to be working on more of them. I'm going to be working on a top 10 list, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and commenting, and as again, I'll say it again, but, happy holidays, people.